Skol Vikings. Minnesota Vikings 3-0, gearing up for that border battle. Green Bay Packers, they're going to Green Bay.
Yeah, it's going to be another tough test for this team. So you got former Packer running back Aaron Jones. Jones got his start in the green and gold, but now he is a Viking intent on getting to the Lambeau end zone, taking that leap in purple. So we had to have our Vikings. This was so exciting. We had to have our Vikings insider, Cody Benjamin with CBS Sports, come in studio to tell us, are these Vikings the real deal?
Well, they must be good because I'm here. I was hoping you were going to keep going with the song. It would have been a festive way to start this.
But he's not afraid, Cody.
Yeah. I'm not, I mean, with each passing week, it's harder not to take them seriously. I mean, the biggest question coming into this season was Sam Darnold, and he's not just been taking care of the ball, he's been decisive. He's been selectively aggressive, throwing the ball down the field. And it helps that you have a great run game, a good offensive line, and then Brian Flores' defense. Right. I would call it like a Frankenstein's monster of just fast, physical, versatile pieces, guys that can move all over the field. It's the total package right now. And, I mean, they're beating teams in the Texans, the 49ers, that were supposed to be Super Bowl contenders. So it's for real for now.
Let me ask you about this for now. Let's talk about the Packers because they're going to pose like a different kind of threat too, aren't they?
Yes. Yeah. I mean, obviously the Texans and 49ers, they are contenders. But the Green Bay Packers, especially if they have Jordan Love back, I mean, he's got one of the best arms in the NFL. Looks a lot like Patrick Mahomes when he's at his peak. Yeah. They've got a punishing running game with Josh Jacobs in the backfield. Matt LaFleur probably, he's equal if not better than Kevin O'Connell in terms of suiting the offense for his players. And then that Packers defense, a lot better than last year. The back end, the secondary, they lead the NFL with 7 interceptions right now. And so Sam Darnold's got to be careful when he's throwing the ball. Jair Alexander and Xavier McKinney, their top 2 cover men, they've got 7 pass deflections combined going into this game. So they're not to be taken lightly, especially when you're going into Lambeau to play them.
You're going into a Lambeau, right? So that's a totally different ball game. Those Packer fans are something else. But do the Vikings play the same game if it's Jordan Love or if it's
Malik Willis?
Malik Willis?
I do think it's a completely different game plan because Malik Willis, he's performed as best as he could have in place of Jordan Love, but that's a guy who he doesn't have the track record of throwing the ball down the field, especially when he's got a defensive coordinator on the opposite side in Brian Flores, who is just the best at confusing quarterbacks. I mean, C.J. Stroud, Brock Purdy, those are 2 of the best quarterbacks in the game. Malik Willis isn't on that level. If it's Jordan Love, he might be rusty. He hasn't played for a few weeks, but that certainly opens up that Packers offense a lot more.
Okay, so let's look big picture here. If the Vikings win, they're 4-0, what does this mean for them? Does that really make them contenders moving forward?
I mean, just practically, if they win, they're 4-0. That puts them 2 games ahead of the Packers. You can no longer deny that they're on top of the NFC North. I mean, that's a lot of ground for teams like the Lions to make up if they don't win this weekend. And so, in the grand scheme of things, again, it'd be different if they were just beating the Giants. Pick your favorite bad team. Right. They're beating legitimate teams, and in Houston, the Houston game, they beat them handily. And so this is not, normally we see maybe the Vikings pull out a surprise and then lay an egg against a team they're supposed to. Hasn't been the case.
That's what's been blowing my mind. Yours too. The games in the fourth quarter, they're typically Vikings, they're close games. They haven't been close.
No, they haven't. Here's what I'm going to say. Cody, if we don't win this weekend, you are never invited back to the studio. But if we do, please come back every single week.
Since we started the segment, they haven't lost.
Yes,
so let's keep going.
Cody just became our rabbit foot. He just did.
All righty. Thank you, Cody, so much. And you can watch that pregame show live from Lambeau. Ren and Maxie will both be there. That'll be at 10:30 right here on WCCO. And then, of course, you can watch the big game on the big Channel 4.